Hey everybody, this is Fran Fraschella, draft expert and basketball junkie. To everybody who's watching, let's get our friends at General Manager Games the subscribers they deserve. Just press that red subscriber button and immerse yourself in sports AI through GM Games content. And on Twitter, it's GM_games. Let's get after it. Let's go.
The second half of a stream actually started last week with my online Louisville Cardinals and Draft Day Sports College Basketball 2020. Let me keep an eye just to make sure this pops up and I'm in the right stream this time. There we go. We are live. Wonderful. So, let me get the game up and running. If you weren't here last time, we can take a quick look here at this recruiting class. Also, let me get into chat real quick. Let's see. Where's the dashboard? Uh-oh. I'll find it in a second. Where is it usually? There we go. Boom. All right, we're up and running. Check out the recruiting class we brought in. It's sort of ridiculous. The top center in the nation, Davey Hampton. Danny Mason, another 5-star top 25 inside player. So we're going to be filling up where we got a bit of a void on the inside this year. Obviously, that'll be a strong point for us next year. And then second top 10 player, number 2 shooting guard in the nation, Larry Hendrick. Who knows what our guard situation is going to look like once we get through this year. We got a ton of guys that should probably be going pro, but no idea to tell exactly who that'll be. We've got these 3 shooting guards. I mean, all 3 of them could realistically go pro. A couple of the small forwards could as well. John Carter could as well. So who knows what next year's team will look like, but we got a strong recruiting class coming in with the 3 scholarships that we have available. We are 10-1. And you can see we just barely made it into the conference schedule. So we're 11 games in. We should still have around 18 games to go in the regular season. And then we can jump in, see what that postseason looks like, and I'll try to get you into next year as well. But let's go ahead and get into the games. I don't want to... last time I feel like I kind of goofed around and didn't get far enough through the games, and I don't at all want to make that mistake tonight. Definitely want to get through this entire season. And make sure we can roll on into the next offseason so that we got an idea of what to expect going forward here. As we move on with this Louisville Cardinals franchise, we're in January of 2044. And now we're headed off to play the Virginia Cavaliers, John Paul Jones Arena. Let's see what we got at Virginia. They look like a pretty decent team. I mean, we're having a ridiculous year, but they seem decent. So this is definitely a scary game on the road, but we take care of business. And Hasty... I mean, this guy is unreal. I was looking at the player contributions from the dashboard screen. Just look what this guy, he's a freshman. Look at how much he's contributing to this team. Even a team stacked like this, with this many 4.5 5-star guys, you would expect there to be more of a balance anyway, much less when some of them are sophomores. White here is a junior, Jackson here is a senior. And Hasty's still just dominating this team. Look at the scoring. He's averaging 22.5 a game, so he's a force on the from the perimeter. So I fully expect him to go pro and to be an extremely high draft pick. I think he was rated like the 4th overall player in last year's recruiting class, something like that. He was pretty highly rated, and that's definitely panning out for him. Ooh, Tulsa sneaks by South Florida there. Interesting to see. Moving on through the ACC, we get an off day today. Just breeze on past these games that we're not involved in. See if we can keep it rolling. 3-0 in the ACC. So I think the ACC is one that has a 20-game conference schedule. So, yeah, I'm thinking we should have 17 games left. That put us at like 29 for the year. So that seems about right. Ooh, another off day. Maybe we get a big Saturday afternoon game going. I need to take a look here and see what other kind of challenges we actually have in the ACC this year. I don't know who the other ranked teams are in the conference, to be honest. I know there's a handful of them. We can look again at the dashboard, see what the schedule actually looks like. Number 21, Notre Dame, Florida State. Syracuse will be a big one, and Clemson's looking tough as well, and that's going to be a road game for us. So definitely a couple of very highly ranked teams, but we could get out of this conference. Less than 5 conference losses is my expectation. Hopefully better than that. Yeah, Chris said the Cards are getting it done in real life. Chris Mack's the real deal. That's absolutely correct. They got off another good win last night. I believe it was at Wake Forest. So they're undefeated so far in conference play in real life. They're having themselves a good year. Unfortunately, I've been too busy to watch too much of it. It's still with everything going on, it's still such a weird sports year for me. I'm not as vested in it as I usually am, but still good to see. I'd rather be doing well than doing poorly, even if I'm not being able to watch it. So now the Tar Heels of North Carolina, all that tradition and history coming into the KFC Yum Center, which 20 years into the stream, I've been here for a handful, long enough to get a little bit of tradition and history started up. We're doing pretty good, and we handle them. Hasty again leading the way. Brett Porter with a big game. A little closer than I would have expected from an unranked UNC team at our place. But a win's a win. We'll take it. You never know how those things go. But Hasty, man, he's a baller. Look at Tulane carrying on the tradition. They're still 11-3. Not ranked, but they're making things happen. Now we go on the road to Boston College, who looks like a pretty poor team. They haven't won in the ACC yet. So this is one, if we're going to have the season that I expect we should end up having, this should be a win. Anything can happen in conference on the road, but this should be a win. So the Cardinals and the Eagles. Oh, yeah, we took them down pretty easily. Porter led the way. Nice double-double out of him. Joey Shannon threw in 17 points. So we easily get past Boston College there. We move on to 5-0 in the conference. Yeah, my old teams, they really do kind of keep it rolling along. Once you get them built up and get those good players in there, they keep winning, they keep having success, and it can kind of build on itself. The only one that's not doing well is Nebraska because they stupidly fired me. So, sucks to be them, I suppose. So Notre Dame coming in, they're 10-7 on the year. Trying to keep it real at home in the Yum Center, trying to stay undefeated in conference play, and we do by 19. I don't even know what to say about this guy. 26 points. I mean, he's doing it every single night. I've been on some of the, if you guys are familiar with Draft Day Sports, they're running a pro basketball multiplayer league. I've been on their streams every Wednesday night and watching Hasty score, 24, 26, 30 points here. It's reminding me of some of the scores in those NBA sims. So, this guy's obviously very talented. Got to be one of the top freshmen in the entire league. I'll be interested to see when the Norton Award starts coming along, what his odds look like in that. Yeah. I'll just keep an eye out for the Norton. I'll be interested to see. I mean, he should be a first-team All-Conference player, and he should be competing to be an All-American the way that he's putting up points. If we keep winning games, he keeps playing the way that he's playing, there's going to be some serious accolades for Mr. Hasty. All right, midway through January, we're still on our roll. 14-1 on the year, 6-0 in conference. I think we still have a handful of games before we hit that rough patch where we're going to have to play Syracuse at home and then Clemson on the road. Us and Syracuse at this point, both top 3 teams in the country, hoping it stays that way. That would be a massive, massive game in the ACC. But first, we got to keep this rolling at the Peterson Event Center in Pittsburgh. The Cardinals and the Panthers. Another nice win on the road. The usual suspects leading the way in scoring. Adam Jackson had a good rebounding game, so the players that we're relying on are really carrying it for us. I was a little bit worried about this team, how the offense would run, given that we didn't really have a super talented point guard. We're running Joey Shannon at the point. He's a shooting guard. And then our third rotation guard is also a 2 guard. So we don't really have a great true point on this team. Greenleaf, who is a guy that we just brought in this past year, is good, but he's nowhere near as talented as these guys. So we went with the shooting guards. We went with talent, and so far that's paying off for us. The offense really hasn't seemed to miss any beats or anything like that. So now, this is going to be this is probably our toughest game since we played at Virginia. Now we got to go to Georgia Tech, and they give me trouble from time to time. Not only in this sim, but in my other single player sims offline. They like to steal my small forwards and beat me with defense. So, not tonight though. Not tonight, Georgia Tech. 26-point win on the road. Down there, I think they're in Atlanta, right? Down in Atlanta. What's up, Breeze? Glad to have you, buddy. Keeping it moving here. We're 8 games in. I would expect we got about 12 to go in this season. Then we'll hit the postseason and see how that turns out. We also need to keep an eye out for a couple of things in the emails. I need to start paying more attention. I need to be checking for the Norton Award, and I also want to be checking for, right around the beginning of March, the players announce who's going pro, and this whole team could turn pro. I can't believe they didn't turn pro last year. I don't know what happened. So a lot of them are going to go pro this year. BC almost beats Duke. Yeah, so I could easily lose five players. I hope not, but it wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. That's why I've just sort of reconciled myself. I'm going to bring in the best recruiting class I can with the scholarships that I have and just go from there. As long as I've got good, talented young players, hopefully they can, step in and we can fill holes around them. Because I think we're going to have some holes next year. All right, so now we've got first. Look at here, talking about what's up, buddy. Stanley Rosella, glad to have you. Check it out, Breeze, talking about Duke almost losing. Their head coach is on the hot seat. On the hot seat, as is Pittsburgh's coach. So, let's check this out. We got the Seminoles coming in. We're at home. I expect to win. I think we're a better team than they are. But stranger things have certainly happened. I didn't expect to lose the game earlier this year that we lost. So, let's see. The Seminoles and the Cardinals and the Yum Center. No, 30 points. Hasty, Carter almost with the double-double. Hasty really filled it up. Only 20 points scoring. But he was all over that box score with the steals, the rebounds, the assists. So he had another all-conference, maybe all-American type of game. Couldn't be happier with that guy. Finally transformed from Lord Clamel. Glad to see it. Like a butterfly, right? Almost through January now. We're getting into the serious part of the season. Start making that resume in February and March, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep on going. I think we'll get the weekly mails tomorrow. We'll jump in, check it out, see if we get anything on the Norton. Yeah, this is a pretty big year, and we expected it. Based on all those players coming back, this is what should have been happening, so I'm glad to see it. But who was the one lost to? You know what? I looked at that earlier. You know who I think it actually was Texas. I think. Hold on, though. We will confirm that. I know I played Texas. Yeah, at Texas was the one loss. So your NCBA Longhorns jumped me down at Texas, down in Austin, 14 points. Took a beating on December 2nd. So Oh, this guy doesn't like our relationship. All right. So Hasty is our only Norton candidate, and right now he's 7th. So there's 6 guys in the country playing better than this. I find it hard to believe. I really do. But that's how they've got it right now. We'll see if he can hang into the top 10 there and maybe make a bit of a late season push and try to climb up. Maybe we can get ourselves a Norton Award winner. Maybe a Player of the Year. Never know. Never know. Yeah, we got the horns. It hurt. All right, so at the Tar Heels, we took care of them at the Yum Center. Let's see if we can go in there. What is it, the Dean Dome? Oh, close game. Hasty nowhere to be found. D'Antonio White came up big. Joey Shannon came up big. And we snuck past North Carolina. They're by 5 on the road. So, like I said, North Carolina's a good team. It's tough to win road games no matter how good of a year you're having. So, Goodyear keeps on getting better. Nice road win at UNC. 10-0 to start the ACC off. And that gets us through January of 2044. All right, so we're moving on. Boston College at home. With any luck, this should be a laugher. 1 a.m. Yikes. Well, luckily this time it's not like a full stream. We're not going through a full year, because normally 15 minutes in, I wouldn't even be through recruiting. But now we're already into February. The Eagles coming into the Yum Center. They got sent packing. Hasty finally jumps back up there with 25 points. Porter, a big night on the glass. 13 rebounds for Porter. So that was good to see. We are here in early February. We can check out the... we can check out what our statistics, what our players are doing statistically at this point. See if anything jumps out at us. I probably don't want to change anything up, but I like to at least know what the numbers look like. So, Joey Shannon scoring all right. His assist to turnover is not great. It's really not great. And that's what I was talking about, not having a real point guard. I was worried about that hurting us, and it doesn't seem to be helping us. But, we're still winning games, mostly due to this young man right here. He's getting 6.5 rebounds a game. That's not too shabby. So Porter is also averaging double digits in points. Also 7.5 rebounds. Carter, over 9 rebounds a game. That's pretty solid. And I think Jackson is our other starter. So him and Chris Marshall are kind of splitting those other minutes on the inside. Neither of them are really standing out, to be honest. So, that's where, we lacked a little bit of depth here on the inside going into this year. It was the one place we could have used some more help. I was so certain that more of these guards were going to leave that I recruited in behind them, and turned out needed somebody down here at the center maybe. So, but that's all right. It's an interesting look at how the players are actually performing there on the year so far. Let's see any kind of percentages standing out here out of our big minutes guys. No, not really. Chris Marshall, I can't. Oh, okay. It's not a whole lot of attempts, right? Field goal percentages. Ooh, Hasty's he's chucking them up there. He's taking 17 shots a game. No wonder he's dropping 22 a night. What's up, Cool's Jedi? Glad to have you in here, buddy. No tanking allowed in this stream, FYI. Only wins here on the GM Games stream. We're not trading away our good players. We love our good players. We hang their jerseys from the rafters instead of shipping them off to LA or whatever it is you like to do out there in Denver. All right. The Edmund P. Joyce Center against the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. They're a top 25 team. We're on the road. These are always scary. This is the kind of game we lost to Texas. We could certainly lose here. Nothing would shock me. And there's a 17-point loss. Like I said, those sort of things are bound to happen throughout the season. It's extremely rare to get through an entire season undefeated or with 1 or 2 losses. I certainly think that we have a good team this year. If there was a team that was going to get through the season with minimal losses, it was certainly this one. But we're incomplete. We're thin on the inside. We don't have a great true point guard. So this is a extremely talented team, but they certainly got weaknesses, and they apparently got exposed at Notre Dame. So we pick up our first loss in the ACC, second loss on the season. Let's make sure none of these... Yeah, Notre Dame sucks. Just wanted to make sure, a lot of times right after a loss, if you've got players that tend to cause trouble, if you got somebody that's going to start a fight or going to talk smack about another player, it generally shows up after a loss. So I just wanted to make sure that none of those emails that we received were players mouthing off, causing trouble. Because I do recruit players on discipline, so I like to make sure to stay true to that. If I brought them here and they're hoping for some discipline, I'll show them some discipline, especially if it's not meaningful games or if they're not meaningful players. Either way, either one of those two ways is an easy way to get yourself suspended for a week or two. Come tournament time, we get a little lax. We do. But hopefully we don't run into those problems this year. We're winning a lot of games. Winning solves a whole lot of problems. It's true in real life. It's true on Draft Day Sports College Basketball 2020. And guys, if you haven't been watching, make sure you're following Wolverine Studios one way or another and check out their developer dynasties they run. The new version of college basketball looks great. A lot of interesting improvements there. And they always got interesting stuff going on their channel. So make sure to give them a follow if you're not already. The Demon Deacons coming into the Yum Center. We get back on the right track. Big time, almost 30-point win. Joey Shannon went off. Hasty with another almost 20-point game. And I think the third one was Porter there. It didn't look like he had the huge scoring outburst, but he's a garbage man. He's cleaning up underneath. He'll get the putbacks and those hard rebounds and that sort of thing. So and he's just a small forward, I think, playing. Is he playing at power forward? I don't know. I know he's a small forward. Here's the game. I'm not going to worry about it. Now we got to get ready. This is maybe the game of the year so far. I'm optimistic because we are at home and in all college sports, but nowhere more so than college basketball. Home court is a ridiculously big advantage, and we hope to take advantage of it in the Yum Center. The Orange are coming into play, a battle of 2 of the top 4 teams in the country. Let's see. Can we pull out a big old win on that resume? Oh! We smashed them! 31 points. 31 points. Get out of here, Syracuse. Now, potential championship matchup, and we just blew them out of the water. Oh, my word. That was a beatdown. Yeah, huge dub. Oh, you got the banner in 2045. That's awesome, Jedi. Louisville and Kentucky in real life always win back-to-back banners. So if I take it in 2044 and you got it in 2045, we can go ahead and mark that down as done. All right, let's see what we got going on now. Now we got a few more emails. Hopefully it's just some more Norton updates. Duke Clemson, and he's a semifinalist, and he's moved up to 6th. So he was 7th. He's moved up to 6th. We're getting close to that time of year. It's going to get cut down pretty quick. So I don't know if he's got enough time to close in on number 1, but he's definitely working toward it. Now we're going to have Virginia at home. Yeah, anytime 30 points against a top 5 team. I don't know how many times that's happened in the history of college basketball. Moves us up to number 1 in the country. 13-1 in conference, 21-2 on the year, hosting the Virginia Cavaliers. So again, we need to protect our home court here. I don't know if we're going to do it by 30, but I'll take 22. Hasty with the double-double, Carter with the double-double, and Porter doing what he does on the glass. So that's really working out for us. Hasty Shannon and somebody else always seem to fill it up scoring. Porter is a force on the boards. When we get done with this, and I cannot remember, I think he's a sophomore. Let's go ahead and take a quick look. Brett Porter is a sophomore small forward. All right. Take one more quick look over here. He is playing at the small forward position. So we got Carter and Jackson playing on the inside. Porter, 7.5 rebounds a game. Maybe he's had a few clunkers in there because it seems like his rebounds are just through the roof every time I see his name. So now we got to go on the road at Florida State. And this one of those dangerous things. You just blew out Syracuse by 30. You beat a good Virginia team at home. Now you got to go on the road, play a Florida State team that looks kind of average, but these are the games you need to win. Well, you don't need to win. You'd like to win. If we're what we hope that we are, you would hope that you'd win a game like this because they're pretty average, but it's a road game. All right, we took care of business by 12. D'Antonio White came up big. Porter filled it up. Shannon scored 21. And so pretty much... What's up, Frank? Glad to have you stop by the stream, buddy. But yeah, we took care of business there. Nothing too crazy. Hasty didn't look like he had a huge scoring night, but not Porter. D'Antonio White really picked it up. So we do have some of those, upperclassmen just sprinkled throughout this team between Shannon and I think White is really I think White's a junior. Right? Or is he a freshman? I get confused. I have single player saves. I've got the stream save, got the NCBA. Sometimes it all runs together a little bit, but regardless, we've got players that have talent and can step up as needed. We're 16 games into conference. There ought to only be 4 games left in the regular season. We can double check that if we need to. We're headed to Clemson, so this is probably the toughest game. This might be the toughest game we've had all year, to be honest. 4 games left at Clemson, at Duke, and then North Carolina State at home, then Miami at home. This definitely one of the toughest games that we'll play in this regular season, and by far the toughest game that we've got left on this schedule. Yeah, we're in 2044 here. Been playing for a while. We had, I think, like 5 or 6 seasons at Florida A&M, 5 or 6 more at Tulane, a couple at Nebraska before we were fired. Then we got Auburn on track, and now we ended up at Louisville, which will be the final stop of our Draft Day Sports College Basketball 2020 game, unless I get fired or something crazy. And then we'll see. I'll probably start a new Journeyman save when we pick up, whenever College Basketball 2021 comes out. But first things first, we got to go on the road to Clemson. So they're actually only 9-6 in ACC play, but they appear to be a pretty solid team on the year. So this is going to be a tough one. Woo! We pull it out on the road, led by Hasty and Shannon. Hasty 1 rebound short of a double-double. So big night scoring, big night rebounding. He was spectacular and pulled us out a pretty big road win there at Clemson. So, looking good. Yeah, 2 points. A win is a win, though. It will go down in the win column in the record books. And, years from now, all anyone will remember is Louisville probably going to finish off this season, unless there's a real shocker coming up here. Ideally, less than 5 losses. Ideally, only 2 losses. It's time to put on our big boy shoes. Finish off this regular season, and then we go on neutral courts and see what this team's really all about. You never really know what you're about until you hit the postseason. We'll say we did have success in the preseason when we were on a neutral court. You can take a quick look at how that looked. Scroll on back here. Where are those games? They're probably... I think we were in a preseason tournament. I mean, I know we only had the one loss to Texas. Whew, it's getting exciting now. It's almost go time, boys and girls. Almost go time. We're about to hit the postseason. We are ranked number 1 in the country. We've got an absolutely stacked team. They're not perfect. They definitely have weaknesses. But every team in the country is going to have weaknesses. And, hopefully all the rest have more weaknesses than we do. Got to go on the road at Duke. They're pretty average, but last road game in conference, and we managed to pull it out. 13 points. Billy Guy suffered an injury. That's not a big-time player. Yeah, I don't usually sim in-game. I have done it in the Pro Football a little bit more. In this one, I haven't. And I don't know if I would. I might. If I got to a championship game, I might stream it live. I think I streamed one live for Blazer at one point because he had asked a couple of times. And I kept telling him I will, and I will, and I will. And it was like 4 months later, so I went ahead and got that done. But if I got to a championship game, maybe. If people wanted to see it, and if I have time. I got 3 little kids upstairs terrorizing their mother right now, so never know. Let's see what that injury was. If we got to fix the depth chart. Billy Guy, sprained wrist. He's not getting serious playing time, so unless he tore something and couldn't play to where it messed up the depth chart, I'm not going to worry about it. Yeah, Duke blows. They are bad. I didn't see how Auburn did. I always like to keep up with them. What's up? We got 10 in the chat. What's up, guys? Glad to have y'all. Hey, it's a good time to be on here because we're about to hit postseason play. We're having one of the best seasons that we've had on the stream, and we're about to hit postseason play. So it's getting really exciting now. We've got a top 10 Norton Award candidate, certainly an all-conference candidate, maybe an all-American candidate. We've got a team that should contend for the ACC title and should contend for the national championship. They probably have to be the favorite for the ACC title. Unless, we could always throw a clunker here. We could always throw a clunker. But, maybe Syracuse wants to get some revenge for getting blown out by 30 at our place. Excuse me. It could always happen. I just think we've got the best team in the ACC. Yeah, get out of here with the Badgers. We're not having any of that. We're getting the Cards, baby. L1C4. The Cards against the NC State Wolfpack. Nice little home game here. Protect the home court. Do what you're supposed to do. Woo! That is what... Look at Hasty. That is what you're supposed to do. God, there's a beat down. What is that, 36? Man, oh man. We have had some wins at home this year. That is for certain. I keep looking away every time I look back to the screen. I look away and look back for 1 second, and I see Auburn's colors flashing by, and I miss what they're actually doing. So, and this what should be the final game of the regular season is going to be another top 25 matchup, but it's going to be a home game for us. So we've had good results there so far. Let's see if we can finish off this regular season undefeated on our home court. This should be a senior night for our boys, assuming that. I know at least Jackson is a starter, and he's a senior. So the Hurricanes coming in, having a pretty good year. But we dispatch them, take care of them by 7 points. Hasty, again, leads the way with 21. Porter and I think it was Jackson filling up the stat sheet. So we end up with a 27-2 regular season record, 19-1 in the ACC. Quick look at the standings. Barkley offered Dirk $100K to go to Auburn. Oh, look. There's Chris Thomason. I'm pretty sure he's on that 29-21. No wonder Hasty's having trouble climbing up the Norton Award. This guy Gonzaga's going 20-20. It's crazy. Crazy. All right. So here we go. Hasty fell back down to 7th. So I'm not sure who jumped him, because there was a guy from BYU at 7th, I thought. So it wasn't that guy that jumped him. Maybe I got that wrong. All right, but anyway, this is going to be an excellent stream. We've got a huge postseason coming up, but now it's coming for the one big downer of the stream. We got to figure out who's declaring for the draft, and this is probably, they bar the doors or whatever, because I'd imagine we're going to have a flood of players. This could easily be 5 players that are leaving. Crossing my fingers, crossing my toes. Oh my word, only Hasty is leaving. Wow, guys. So that means Lamont Mapp is back? Oh my word. That means Carter is going to be here with those other front court players. Jackson will be gone. White is a junior, so he'll be back. Brett Porter will be back. Bobby Howard is not getting playing time this year. I don't know how happy he is. Hasty will be gone. Shannon will be gone, but Mapp will be coming back at the shooting guard. We do have Greenleaf still, and then we've got the other guard coming in that's extremely high ranked. So we're going to do something like this, 27-2, 19-1. We're going to do something like this again next year. We are rolling at Louisville. Check out these standings. I mean, certainly we won the league by 2 games over Syracuse, so they went 17-3. All right, so I mean, by far and away, we're the we got to be the favorite for the ACC championship, and assuming we win that, we've got to be looking at maybe a number 1 overall seed here. Yeah, I mean, Hasty was gone. That was never any question. He was guaranteed. He's one of the best players in the league. But I'm shocked that Carter didn't go. I'm also kind of surprised we didn't lose the Brett Porter. Brett Porter kind of surprises me. And even Lamont Mapp. I mean, I know he's not playing a lot this year, but that was a heck of a player. Look at him. I mean, he's not getting minutes just because Hasty was, some kind of generational talent. But I mean, Lamont Mapp's a 4.5-star guy. He was a top 25 prospect. Expect starters minutes, but he still loves it here, getting whatever he's getting a game, which is not a whole lot of anything. I mean, I guess I could be worried that he'll transfer, but his mood's really good. That would suggest that he's not going anywhere. All right, postseason time. Let's get it popping in here. We're into March. It's when it all gets real. Oh, one thing I should do, I guess, is check recruiting because I got a scholarship that just opened up. So let's see what that looks like for next year. We bring back Mapp. I would actually love to bring in a point guard if we have anything decent available. I doubt that we do. Nah. It's probably not going to be anything from our initial lists that are still hanging out. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about that. We'll take it over. Most of the best players are going to commit early, and we don't need to go diving. We've got enough talent that can fill in that gap, and we'll save that for a real top-notch prospect next year. Because you never know who's going to go pro next year, and we're going to have to bring in another class like we're bringing in this year just to cover all our bases. You have no idea who's going to be on these teams from year to year. All right, so I think the first postseason game should start tomorrow. Or is it next week? Oh, no. Those are postseason games. We get another bye here. So we'll play Friday, Saturday, Sunday. In this game, I think everybody plays on the same days. Like in real life, I think that the top seeds in the ACC would have played on Thursday, Friday, Saturday for their 3 games. All right, so first game here in the ACC tournament, and we get Wake Forest. They're 14-16 on the season. We definitely should be a 1 seed. Lose a game like Wake Forest, and that can change quick and in a hurry. But we don't have any business losing a game like this. So we are on a neutral court, though. It is tournament time. and it's college basketball, so it's a one-game situation. The Demon Deacons can't hang with Joey Shannon, Osai Hasty. I didn't even see. Was the other one white, I think? And now we're going to get another crack against the Miami Hurricanes. We took care of them at home, but this is a neutral court. This is a different story. I like our chances, but you never know. Woo! 82-65, almost 20 points. Shannon, Hasty, and Porter take care of business. So now it should be the neutral court rematch with Syracuse, I believe. So yeah, at this point, there's no way that we're not a number one in the final tournament. All right, so the Orange and the Cardinals face off for the ACC championship. What are we going to do here? What are we going to do? Was there a doubt? Oh, I saw the red thing up here. There's an injury. So, good news is we won another ACC championship. The really bad news is there is an injury, so we got to see who that's to and how bad it is. So it's to Chris Marshall. He is getting playing time. It wouldn't be a good thing to lose him for anything significant. Sore calf, 8 days. He's at 90%. We're all right. So a little bit of a scare, but we're all right. Coming in very strong. Absolutely. So I would like to see. I think that's at least a handful of ACC championships since we've been here, right? I don't think this will show us. I know somewhere. I know. I think I know where it is. School info. And we want to see. Who is conference championships not in here? Conference champions. All right, so the game actually still lists this as American East, so I guess that's an issue with the mod. But so we won in 2039. I think that was my first year here, and then 41-42. We did not win last year, but that would make 1, 2, 3, 6. What, 4 out of 6 years? Is that right? We'll see if 39 was my first year here. It was. So, wait, 1, 2, 3. No, this is going to be the 43. So it's going to be 4 and 5 years. This season right here is the one that we didn't win it. All right. Check out this selection show. We're certainly the number 1 overall seed in the country. Ooh, we got a handful in chat now. Get ready. We could be hanging a banner tonight, boys and girls. We could be hanging a banner. We already hung one. We could be hanging the big one, though. All right, let's go. All right, so we got our play-in games. And now the number 1 overall seed, the Louisville Cardinals. Got VCU. They've been a killer against me in the tournaments. They've been an absolute killer. So that's terrifying. Potential Elite 8 matchup. We've also got Arkansas. We've also got Miami again. Hard to beat a team 3 times in the same year, certainly. So we've got no easy path through Syracuse. Out in Indy, Oregon is a 1 overall. Villanova, Oklahoma, and Notre Dame. Keep an eye out here. So Notre Dame, one of the 2 teams that beat us. They're out in Indy. Keep an eye out for Texas, the other team that beat us this year. Syracuse grabs a 1 in New Orleans. There's Stanford, Texas A&M, the worst Wildcats. They're with the 4 seed. And the Kansas State Wildcats, a 1 in Salt Lake City. There we got the Illini, the Spartans, BYU, Roll Tide. Shout out there to Bama and Nick Saban with another huge NCAA football championship. He's on the Mount Rushmore coaches now. I think that's why people get these draft day sports college games. You know, you want to turn it on and you want to do some stuff like Nick Saban's done in real life. So, watching something like that's absolutely crazy. I think it's tonight, Chris. Banner or bust, baby. Banner or bust. We're going to get it going. We got 6 games. Cut the nets. No stop until we take the nets. Cross the fingers, cross the toes, guys. Anything can happen. This is the problem, is you set everything up to build teams like this, and then you get to like the Elite Eight-ish, and it's crapshoot. Anything can happen on a neutral court. You got nothing but good teams at that point, and all that assumes that you're still healthy, which is no promise. So this is the only thing that should be relatively guaranteed, unless you're a Galia. I don't know if he's in chat or not, but the only guy I know that loses 16 seeds is Agalia. But let's see how this game goes against Norfolk State. We take care of business like we're supposed to. 39 points. Looks like Jackson, Marshall. Didn't catch the third there. But nice little opening round game there. Moving on. Nothing to be excited about. We beat a 16 seed. That's what we're supposed to do. Now we got the 8 seed Tennessee Volunteers. So again, we should be a better team, but 1 seeds lose to 8 seeds all the time. I have no desire to be in that position. The Cards and the Vols, nice. 27. Hasty with a massive game, 30 points, 13 rebounds, throwing in 3 blocks for good measure. Porter grabs 16 boards. Looking good. All right, so that's going to move us on out to the Sweet 16. It's getting exciting in here, guys. I hope everybody's getting pumped. I hope we're all getting pumped. Y'all, if it's not this year, I might cry. If it is this year, I might cry. The stream may end in waterworks either way. If it's going to happen, we're going to first have to get past Miami. And in the Sweet 16 at this point, I mean, we're out there. Anything can happen. Anything at all could happen. We've beaten them twice, and now we got to do it a third time, and that's a big ask. I think we can do it, though. I think we can do it. 21 points. Hasty, Porter, and Jackson on to the Elite Eight. Whew. Let's go, Cards. Let's go, baby. For a shot at the Final Four. Oh, Arkansas. Did they take out VCU? Is that who beat VCU? Somebody beat VCU. We'll check it out. Once we get to the Final Four, we'll see how everybody got there. But we dodge VCU finally, and we're going to be playing the Razorbacks of Arkansas. Not that that's much better. They're looking like a pretty solid team here. 28-7 on the year. So, for a shot at the Final Four. For another shot. Come on, guys. Let's go, Hasty. Oh, for God's sakes. And that's what happens when you get out there in these Elite Eight games. Hasty had a big game. Carter did well. And they just beat us. God, it's such a pain. It's such a pain. You build a great team and then you just get knocked off one game and your whole season's over. God bless. We definitely dropped the ball big time. We got smoked in that first half. I don't even know, where is the excuse? What happened? I don't see foul trouble. Let's see. Hasty jacking up the threes didn't look great. So 20% from 3 didn't help us, certainly. Let's see. Rebounds, 38 to 35. That was fairly close. 13 turnovers. 9 just shoot. You got to shoot the ball. That's about all that it was. Hasty jacked up a bunch of threes. Chris Marshall had an absolutely garbage game on the inside. We got no points from our bench at all. That was an epic fail. Nothing at all from the bench. No points. Not only no points from the bench, only 5 rebounds from the bench. 2 assists, 8 fouls. They gave us nothing. And I mean, especially White and Map. That's just pathetic. So, another team that could have competed. What could have been. But it was not to be. So let's get our Final Four settled, and we'll go out and take a look through the bracket, see what actually happened here. Game grid, we want to get to the NCAA tournament. At least if I wasn't going to win, I'd rather go out early. Because if I get to the championship game and lost it, that would just be exceptionally brutal. Yeah, Arkansas was up huge in the first half. We made a big comeback in the second half. It just wasn't to be. So, Syracuse, we know what happened. Arkansas upset VCU. I thought I saw the light at the end of the tunnel, and it turned out to be a freight train in Arkansas. Over in Indy, Oregon over Notre Dame, Villanova over Oklahoma, and Oregon moves on. So a 1 seed, at least in Indy, knew how to make it happen. Down in New Orleans, Syracuse, another 1 seed, moves on over Stanford. Washington, an 11 seed, got out here, got past Maryland and got past Texas A&M. So a nice little run there. And in Salt Lake, we got K-State over BYU. We got Michigan State over Illinois, and Michigan State back to the Final Four. Vermont got past Bama over here. It's an interesting little game. Iowa State got past Utah State. So there's your finals. The Razorbacks, the Ducks, the Orange, and Sparty. All right. Yeah, Syracuse won. So it's just you try to build a contender every single year and then get to March healthy and roll the dice, see where they land. And then more often than not, you're going to lose. I mean, it's just the way that it rolls. Like I said earlier, though, the good news is, Hasty's going to be gone, but we're bringing back a lot of this team. We also lost Shannon, who was another starting guard. That's going to hurt. But our inside game is going to be much better next year. Hopefully Greenleaf develops. If not, I believe I was playing Lamont Mapp at the point. So he could certainly step in there. I wasn't about to bench Joey Shannon in his senior year for obvious reasons. But you can't hang your head. 33-3. Four out of the last 5 years were the ACC champs. Fell short in the Elite Eight. And then, of course, Arkansas lays a clunker against Oregon. So Oregon and Michigan State. And Michigan State taking home a national championship. It's frustrating, guys, but let's check out, see what, let's see what the awards situation looks like. See what kind of hardware Hasty ends up bringing home. Should be quite a bit. So for the association, Thomason, man, what a year for Gonzaga. Chris Thomason, 16.6 points, 13.8 rebounds. That's crazy. You can see there the Michigan State guy got the MOP. Thomason was all over this. Player of the Year, Norton Award, Freshman of the Year. Heck of a player there. First team All-Americans, Thomason, Charles Baker from Clemson, Reed Pack, Jeff Freeman, and Bill Redden. So, Hasty gets shunned off of the first team. Is he a second team All-American? He is. Osai Hasty. I believe that might be my first All-American. At least probably on this stream. And I'm sure I could check that, but not right this second. Let's check out in the ACC. I guess Charles Baker was good. I guess he was good. First team All-Conference, Hasty, the only Cardinal up there. Second team All-Conference, Brett Porter makes an appearance there, almost averaging that double-double. So, there's your awards. Yeah, I think it's... Yeah, I think it's got to be Tom Izzo, right? I mean, I don't know how Michigan State just keeps it up. Maybe it's just one of those things, where you got a legendary coach. kind of like you're experiencing here with Auburn and Tulane, how they just keep it rolling after they have a legendary coach. Maybe that's some of what Michigan State's getting. They had the great coach. He got them set up, and they're just rolling now. It's hard to knock them off the top. We're going to give it another go next year, which, by definition, going to be next stream. But we're going to get through this. Billy Guy still wants to complain. Association award winners. Coaching jobs available. We don't care. All right, so Eddie Hartfield is going to retire. Didn't win the championship. Blah, blah, blah. 92-90 in school prestige. Yeah, we really needed to make a Final Four there. So let's see which of our coaches retired. Got to fix the coach, then we can get all right, so we still got Murphy for 2 years. That's good. Kelly is doing our scouting. That's fine. So we need a coach to coach practice. Oh, I'm going to need to check budget. See all the schools that we could take over. Oh, take over Cincinnati on probation. Clemson on probation. So maybe there was a reason they just had the defensive player of the year, most valuable player of the year, everything else player of the year for everything and everybody. Georgetown looking for a coach. Michigan State is looking for a coach after hanging the banner. Oklahoma, Pitt, Stanford, Temple, Tennessee, Tulsa on probation, so maybe there was a reason they were ranked, what was it, number 3, did you say, Chris? I don't know that I can transfer this save to college basketball 2021, and I don't know that I would want to if I could. Something to think about, but I probably will want to start new because I do think that I did this on possibly normal recruiting, and we'll probably kick that back up to brutal just to show, people have complained about the brutal recruiting, and it can be punishing and painful and unfun. But it's certainly doable. You can certainly win games with it, and you don't have to resort to cheating if you don't want to. I've never offered a bribe in any iteration of any draft day sports, college basketball, any year. So I've never done it. I don't know what the advantage is, but you can win on brutal without it. So that's probably what I'll do is start over on a brutal difficulty next year. Yeah, I'm sure he retired. Yeah, Tulsa had the number 3 in the Norton. Yeah, that's probably why. So look at these freshman point guards we brought in. Looks like they got, their rating adjusted a little bit. So hopefully, one of them will be able to step into a starting role. Or like I said, maybe that's Map. We'll see how it goes. Let's get somebody in here to coach practice and develop these guys. Let's check and see what kind of budget I'm working with. So, starting budget's ridiculous. Yeah, we can pay as much as we want. I'm not going to touch that budget. So I'd like to bring in somebody that's good at player development and good at offense and defense. What's Davis? He's already a first assistant, so that's not very likely. Because we're wanting to bring in a second assistant. Even though he shows up on the list, we could always try to give him more money. He's making $85 a year there. Let's see if he would go, because he does have the offense and defense ratings. His player development, it's not great. Petaway's a little better. Is he their both coaches from Mississippi? That's interesting. Shoot, I don't know. Let's go ahead and let's go for Davis. See if he go for like $100K. Let's go 120. We got money to burn. Yeah, the recruiting's not that bad once you get a feel for it. Especially once you get your coach's rating up. Yeah, we didn't get him. He's probably not going to be interested. Oh, wait. Oh, he took an assistant number 1 with Notre Dame. Interesting. All right, well, let's try Petway. He's a second assistant making 56. We can certainly pay him. Let's offer him 90. pretty close to the top end of his demand range. Really just interested to get through this, get to next season, and see how this team is rated, how it looks. We not get him either, Petway. He took an assistant number 2 at Tennessee. So we lost our first 2 options there at assistant coach. Yeah, we know we got vacancies. Victor looks like all around okay. He's a second assistant making $25 a year. Let's go for Victor. See if we can pull him in. Get this staff straightened out and into next year. Come on, Jeffrey. There we go. All right, so the coaching staff is locked in. Now let's go check out one other thing before we go on into next season. So I always like to take a look, if I remember, take a look at some of the outgoing seniors and their overall stats for their career. So Joey Shannon, who ought to be way up there in points per game. Let's see. Oh my word! He was 11 points short of being a 2,000 point scorer. Wow, that's brutal. And look, this year he scored what, 70 less points this year than any other year he was in school. I mean, that's just Hasty showing up, pushing him off to the point guard, and taking so many shots. Otherwise, he would have easily been a 2,000 point scorer. So almost 40% from 3, not too shabby. Playing at point this year really bumped up the old assist for him, so he almost, 429, not bad at all. 375 rebounds, so quite the career. Look at the efficiency drop off once he got moved out of position. But, he helped us win games, so can't be too sad there. We could check out Jackson. I don't think you're going to have as much of interest here because he just never played. He never, even 8 minutes a game, I'm not looking at him. Joey Shannon was a big one that I wanted to see. We can see what Hasty did in the 1 year that he was here. So 1 year, 655 points. 4 double-doubles. Player of the game 23 times. Player of the week 20 times. 40% from the field, 85% at the line, about 35 from 3. Chipped in with 200 rebounds. Just some serious efficiency and true shooting percentage and all that fun stuff. Efficiency ratings. Man, heck of a player. So we're done with staff hiring. We can move on. Later, Stanley. Yeah, we didn't get the big win, but, it's still out there. We still got something to fight for next time, right? If we won it all every year, it'd be boring. That's why it's exciting when you start making progress, start getting out there, getting the Final Four, getting the championship game, and then finally win the big one. It's more fun because you can't do it every year. Yeah, 23 player of the games, that's crazy. When he played in 36, so not a bad percentage there. 2 out of every 3 games he was player of the game. It was a heck of a year for him. God, imagine a guy scoring 650 points a game as a freshman. What that would have looked like over 4 years. I can't believe Shannon was 11 points short of being a 2,000 point scorer. That was a shame. All right, petition the board. I think we just go for facilities because our money's ridiculous. We definitely don't need more time. So we can go the facilities route. Now we just got to push through this off season, make our buyer reports, pick our camps, all that good stuff, and see what next year's team looks like. Request denied, no big deal. I think we've already got like A-, maybe A facilities. Maybe somebody caught that earlier when I was on that page. Let's check it out. Always takes a little bit to process the off season, but outside of seeing whether or not we win the championship game, I got, I guess, three real thrilling parts to college basketball for me. The first one is once you get in that first couple weeks of recruiting, see what kind of recruiting class you land. Second is getting to the postseason, seeing if you can win the conference tournament, how far do you get in the NCAAs, and then my third favorite thing is to get into that new season and see the rankings on the new players and see what the team looks like. So always, even though you get let down at the end of the year, there's only one team that's not let down at the end of the year, I guess. So even though you get that end of the year let down, you start off the new year with a nice little pick-me-up as a new team shapes up. So it is one of the longer processing times, though. Just there's a lot of information to process, obviously. Well, Eddie Hartfield didn't get to hang a banner before he headed out. Hey, he can get some conference championship rings. I mean, I guess that's a nice, it's a nice parting gift. 4 out of 5's not bad. It's a real kick in the gut, though. You got to make that Final Four. Us. I mean, we went 33-3, won the conference tournament, undefeated at home, Elite 8, and we dropped in prestige. So, if you want to maintain those mid to high 90s in prestige, you got to be in the Final Four. There's just no other way around it. So, all right, 2 open scholarships, plenty of money to recruit with, and obviously we got the number 1 recruited class in the country. So you can see. The Worcester Wildcats are number 2. Georgetown, Virginia, Syracuse. The only other ACC, I see Georgia Tech. So a handful of ACC teams up here, but I mean no Duke, no North Carolina. So by the reports, I try to hang off looking at the team as long as I can, so that's why I'm not doing it immediately. We'll just, where's A, I suggest? It's going to tell us to get the gold on both. I'll take the gold in the Southeast, and we'll take the basic everywhere else. We can throw in the international. I don't see a huge difference between them, but I do have some money to spend. I don't want to blow every bit of it here, because you certainly could. There's $400,000 worth of reports there if you went all gold. But, hold on. Are we already past transfers? Players transferring? Nobody. All right, cool. Let's take a look at this team. All right. So, looking very similar to last year's team. The one big difference here is you can see Davey Hampton, the freshman center, 5 stars, looking good. You have to watch that GPA, make sure he stays eligible. But then you're going to add him in with John Carter. You got 2 5-star small forwards in Porter and White, and they're both upperclassmen, so that's great to see. Bobby Howard did stick around. He looks upset, but he's still here, so take what we can get. I'm not worried about walk-ons. Then the freshman Hendrick, another 5-star player. So we're gonna go. We're gonna start 3 5-stars and have another 5-star as a backup, and then I don't know if we'll go with Bond or Map. Greenleaf's going to be solid. So this is a team that, I think, I don't know if they'll have a player. You never know if they're going to have a player like Hasty. I mean, that's, All-American players, even if they're just second team. They don't come around every year. But this is more of a team that doesn't really have any bad weak spots. I guess probably the weakest point would be the backup on the inside. Carter and Hampton are obviously beasts, but if you get past that, Barron's all right there at power forward. Marshall's all right at center. But we're fine at small forward. 2 5-star guys and a 3.5 is third. We're looking strong at guard. We got 4 really good guards. I'm quite satisfied there. So, yeah, maybe you could ask for something more on the inside, but not much. Let's go ahead and get us past the transfers. I'm sure that a couple of those players are upset because they didn't get starters minutes last year. I mean, those are 4.5 star players that just flat out didn't play last year. As always, I skip the transfers. I don't care to do transfer recruiting at all. I don't feel like I get as much information out of it. I know there's people that have a lot of success with it. I know, Chris, you do well with it, but just never been my thing. So we'll push it on up, get it set up for recruiting next time. So we'll hit June 26, July 26, June 26, I think. We also get to see the draft class. So I am interested to see where Hasty gets drafted. I mean, I don't think Jackson... Yeah, Chris says he has good luck with the transfers. I've never been into it. Now, if there were like graduate transfers that could come on immediately, like if there was some kind of transfer period like that, that would be pretty interesting. Because you could fill some holes of guys that had left early for the draft. So if we had something like that, maybe it would be more interesting. Especially, if it's only a 1-year scholarship. I could have used Hasty's open scholarship and brought in, who knows what would be available in a theoretical grad transfer pool. But it's not a thing, so we move on with that. All right. Can delete it. Get our summer travel. Just let the AI suggest because it's going to pick exactly what I would pick, which is Indy and all the regional camps. We still got $190,000 for team budget to pull in 2 guys, so I think I can manage. $75K per recruit. Shouldn't be too difficult. And here we are on June 26th. Let's check out. We can pop in here, check out Bond. So, yeah, I mean, it's young. Didn't get a ton of playing time. I think these guys will come around. He just wants to play, and he didn't get to play last year at all. Howard, this is what he's not friendly. That's actually the problem there. He doesn't care about playing time. And Barron... Who knows? Maybe it's just playing time. Maybe it'll get better as the year goes on. Maybe we'll be replacing the whole roster. But we've only got 2 scholarships, so we will have to be careful there. If too many people go pro, when we're only bringing in 2 star guys next year, what do? Do you avoid point guard because you got 2 sophomores? Or do you say, oh, shoot, we might need a point guard because they're both unhappy and could transfer? I don't know the answer to that. That one will be interesting. But let's check out this inbox. Last cool thing of the stream is we need to see where Hasty got drafted. So the 2044 Pro Draft, Charles Baker obviously goes first overall. There's Osai Hasty at number 6 out of Louisville. Where did the big man from Gonzaga not go pro? I don't see him. I mean, he was player of the year all over the place, freshman of the year all over the place. I think he stayed. Does anybody see him? There's Joey Shannon, also a first rounder. So both of our guards from last year's team go in the first round. Adam Jackson did go in the second round, so that's cool to see. Yeah, Thomason. I don't see him. Well, I was just looking through for the school for Gonzaga. I don't see him. I mean, I don't see anybody from the Zags that went pro. So he might be back. That might be scary. Gonzaga could be serious business. All right, well, we can delete that. We'll get it saved up, and guys, that'll bring the stream to a close. Sorry that we had to break this one up into 2 parts, but I felt like it was a good show. We made a run at a title. We won a lot of games, had some big ones, a 30-point blowout against Syracuse, but we're bringing back another stellar team for this next coming year. So hopefully, you guys will stick around, and maybe we'll win that national championship before college basketball 2021 comes out and we start it all over again. But I appreciate y'all stopping by. I hope that you enjoyed it. Reach out to me wherever you can, Twitter, YouTube, GM Games, Discord, whatever it is. Let's chat. I always like to talk to people, hear what you want to hear. But I'm going to cut it off there. I appreciate you guys for stopping by, and I'll see y'all next time.